Don't know me, my name is Renfroe. I've been a designer, I'd like to say, my whole life. People are starting to notice, so now it's actually starting to feel like it's culminating into something big. The whole thing for me with miniatures is, even as a kid, I liked building with blocks, and I didn't have the Legos, so I used to make pretty much any kind of architectural structure out of whatever material I could get, which is even kind of says what Stacy was saying as far as using things that aren't normally used for something like that, which keeps your creative juices flowing. And just to cut out all the loose talk about how I really got to this point and get up to speed, is I'm actually a full-size furniture designer, and I do a lot of interior design with lofts. My career started here back in 2002 when my wife and I moved here to San Francisco. So I worked a lot with the loft market. Some of the people here are some of my clients. And even then, because I'm not real computer savvy, and now I'm better than I was then, but I didn't have the skills to do 3D rendering. So what I would do, even as a kid, I used to go to the colleges and look at the architectural model building, and I learned a lot just from watching, and I used to just look at construction sites. And then to put myself through college, I did a lot of construction work, so I learned the trade and understood how things went. So what I would do for clients to show them what an idea would look like, a concept, whether it's a coffee table or a wall unit, I would actually just build it in scale. And I got tired of building junky foam models or cardboard models because people, it's nice, it gets set on the side, it gets beat up, and it's not as fun. These ones I could actually polish up and then sign it, and then it became a collector piece. And it was kind of funny because I started having clients, after I do a full-size project, would call me back and say, hey, a friend of mine saw that little table, can you make another one? And so it kind of started there, and then it really took off when I happened to put some stuff online, and Stacy was doing some searches, and so she saw some of my work and then featured it on her blog. And then she and I started talking, and then that was the end of it. Both of our spouses at that point were like, what's going on here? You guys have what's going on? There's all these emails. It's like, well, who are you talking to, Stacy? It's like, well, what are you talking about? But ultimately, when they start seeing the pictures and seeing it, we're both really serious about it. And some of the best compliments I've gotten is when people would go to my website. I actually had to create a new site in a store that's strictly miniatures because people were confused at which ones were full size and which ones were miniature.
That's good.
That's the best compliment. But it also proves to people, look, because a lot of people want to see, what's your resume? What have you done? And I can say, well, I've done a lot of different things, even as concepts. But there's a lot of architects out there, too, who have said, hey, these are all the conceptual things I've done, but none of them have really been to fruition yet. Or these are the only ones that have materialized. And then I have 50 that weren't, or they weren't practical. But see, for miniature or modern miniaturists, we don't really have to be practical. We can create, like for Megan's Antrim, we're going to create a swimming pool on the top that actually cantilevers off, that has 3 sides of plexiglass, actually 4. So if you were imagining being up there, you'd actually be swimming off the edge of a building. Which I've seen the vanishing walls, in pools like that, but then there's always the ledge on the other side. To have one that actually extends off, I don't know how practical that would be in real world to build that. But like I said, the beauty of it is we don't have to be practical. And we can enjoy it. And they're all collectibles, and I think they're great educational tools. They help clients realize how to do space planning. And for me, I actually collect 1/18 scale die-cast Ferraris. I collect some 1/12 as well. And I used to get tired of just having them on a shelf. They look like toys. So to create, like if you drive down Van Ness and you see the Bentley and the Lamborghini dealership, you do the rubberneck. I mean, it's just beautiful how they just have a few cars in a showroom. And that's kind of even my idea with the gallery display. And this actually has a mount in the back, so it can actually be hung in a real gallery and then showcase individual small pieces which have magnets on the back, so they can actually be used as a fridge magnet, or if somebody wants me to create a wall that has a magnetism to it. So if they had a few of the pieces, they could just have a few small modern vignettes like that. And I use different materials. You see the shipping container on the end. That's actually, if you were to think full scale, that would be 2 20-foot containers side by side, modernized so that somebody could use it as a cabin, or they could use it just as a study in the backyard. I've created some online. One of my clients here, Andrea Klein, I've created a freight house for her. And it's the capital FR and then the number 8. And Megan actually showcased it on her blog, and I'll have some other pictures up as well I can show you on the laptop after we're done. And that contains, it has 2 what would be 40-foot containers on the bottom, and then up top there are 3 20-footers. And the whole thing it's actually a wonderful house, with the artwork, and it's got a master suite upstairs with a walk-in closet. So it shows people, look, these things are possible. But sometimes just telling somebody, hey, you know, have you ever thought of living in a shipping container? They'd be like, what? It's a metal box. So when I make a model like this, and to give you an idea, these sell for like $300 a piece, depending on what the additions are. Now, if you went to an architect, go ahead.
Is her house in the Bay Area?
No, it's actually in Florida, so we wouldn't be able to see it. But like I said, afterwards I can show you pictures online of all the details. But ultimately, if you were to go to an architect and have them build you a model of something like that, it would be astronomical. Almost more so, the fact that a full-size shipping container like that, a 20-footer used, you could buy for $1,500. Nothing done to it, of course, but now you get the right fabricators to do it. Something like that could probably cost you less than $30,000 to do. And it's unique, it's urban, it's being eco-friendly, if you will, but to me, I just look at it as being resourceful. It's using resources that are just left in all the shipyards. And it's cool, if you had a few of them with different colors, it just adds a lot of fun to it. So this, with my clients, they found that it's much more affordable to work with someone like me, and now you have a collectible piece too, and something that's interactive, whereas architectural models aren't interactive. They can show somebody in a presentation what's going on, but that's about it. So, anyways, I don't want to go on. I could go on all day, and we have a few people left here. So we have Doris. Where is Doris at? Let me segue to Doris. Doris, take over.
Hi, I'm Doris.